Shalom. Shalom, all praise, glory, and honor. Let's go into Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 hope for elect. It's your brother Desire Warren from GMS Atlanta. Back with another quick video. And what I have here is an article from foxnews.com. And I'm gonna just leave this up here, so you can see. This is the EU president here you see on the screen, Ursula von der Leyen. Now this article is from September 11th, and I'm gonna let Fox News say it. I'm gonna let them say it. I'm gonna let them say what needs to be said. And you out there should already know what this is alluding to. But I'll read this here. Nigel Farage. Do our leaders really believe in our nation? Question mark. It says former Brexit party leader Nigel Farage reacts to proposals for a digital ID card in the European Union on the Ingram angle. Okay. I'm gonna let Fox News say it. Now you tell me if what Great Millstone has been saying about this coming Motb, if we've been lying or not.
These can be a real booster to emerging economies. The trick is to build public digital infrastructure. She doesn't have privacy, apparently, of that dreaded COVID passport. The IDs can be a real booster to advocating that we all have to have digital IDs because the future will be digital. You shouldn't have privacy. Apparently. Yeah, that's what she believes. She claims that the IDs can be a real booster to emerging economies. Have digital IDs because the future President Ursula von der Leyen, perhaps the most prominent advocate of that dreaded COVID passport, was out there advocating that we all have to have digital IDs because the future will be digital. You shouldn't have privacy. Apparently. Yeah, that's what she believes. She claims that the IDs can be a real booster to emerging economies. The trick is to build public digital infrastructure, she said, that is interoperable, open to all, and trusted. Joining me now to explain just how dangerous.
And there's more clips. But with that, I'm going to say shalom. Oh, and let me say this, you should all know the scriptures, Revelation, the 13th chapter, verses 11 on down to 18, and in particular, the 14, 15, 16 verses of that chapter, it talks about the prophecy of the Motb. And then you can read the Revelation, the 14th chapter, verses 9 through 12, and the coming destruction for those that take the Motb. With that, I'll say shalom.
President Ursula von der Leyen, perhaps the most prominent advocate of that dreaded COVID passport, was out there advocating that we all have to have digital IDs because the future will be digital. You shouldn't have privacy. Apparently. Yeah, that's what she believes. She claims that the IDs can be a real booster to emerging economies. The trick is to build public digital infrastructure, she said, that is interoperable, open to all, and trusted. Joining me now to explain just how dangerous this is, Nigel Farage, former Brexit party leader. Nigel, this is about global government control and a way to what? Redistribute the wealth away from the so-called wealthy nations to everybody else?
Well, it's about control, isn't it? I mean, this is the most glaring example we've ever seen from a prominent world leader. Von der Leyen is the president of the European Commission, 450 million people living within that union. Oh, and by the way, she's unelected, she's appointed, and here she is brazenly saying we need a digital ID card or app on our phones. Now, bear in mind, France and Germany are trialing this already. The European Union, she wants this to be enforced by the early 2030s and, may I add, backed up by a central bank digital currency, living in a cashless society. And now she wants the whole thing to go global. Can you imagine? On this ID card will be not just your date of birth, your gender, your eye color, your height, your approximate weight. There will be your vaccine status, your financial status, and goodness knows what else will be on that card. Can you imagine this data falling into the hands of bad actors? And if you think about it, I speak as somebody who's recently been debanked as a result of his political opinions. And this is happening in America too, as you well know, to lots of people. If we're not careful, we head towards a Chinese-style social credit system where unless you go along with the views of a day, you become a non-person. I cannot think of a more dangerous...
And welcome to Outsiders, the show that is to woke virtue signalling and out-of-control lefty identity politics what cash is to our individual freedoms. Signalling and Good morning and welcome to Outsiders, the show that is to woke virtue signalling and out-of-control lefty identity politics what cash is to our individual freedoms.
A key difference with the Cbdc is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability, and also we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
Yes, it appears that the United Nations is very keen to introduce a global digital ID system that is linked to individuals' bank accounts. The plan is outlined in 3 new policy briefs from the UN titled A Global Digital Compact, Reforms to the International Finance Architecture and the Future of Outer Space Governance.
Outer space governance, you say, Rita? Well, the policies outlined are very similar to certain World Economic Forum ideas. And I quote, should I do the Klaus Schwab voice?
Oh, why not?
Digital IDs linked with bank or mobile money accounts may improve the delivery of social protection programs.
Was that Klaus?
That was Klaus.
Like Klaus,
yeah, I wonder if they mean social protection programs like, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe this one.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoking emergency powers against the truckers who are protesting vaccine mandates.
The G20 is over, but what you haven't heard is what was said by the unelected boss of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. She said we need digital public infrastructures. What does she mean? Well, it's rather like the digital passport that Tony Blair was talking about. Already in the EU, they've got a trial going on in France and Germany. They want an EU-wide digital ID backed up by a central bank digital currency. And she now wants this to go global. And I want the British government to say, we want no part of it. Imagine that, a global database that could fall into the hands of bad actors and our lives be completely controlled. I want the British government to say no. The G20 is